B's a tough start to the season. Do you take any positives away from that match?
We kept going at the end. We kept going, got a goal back, and maybe could have nicked another one and gone 3-2. I think we were beaten by the better team. I think they were better than us on the day. Although we started great, should have scored, should have gone 1-0 up, and if that goes in, it's slightly different. And I thought we over the piece, we created some decent chances where we've got to do better. But no complaints on the result. They were better than us. I knew they'd be at it. These will be right up there this season. In my opinion, they'll be really good. So I think they'll definitely be in the top 7.
You mentioned that you started fairly well. I mean, in fact, the goal was probably against the run of play, but we just a bit disappointed with how you just didn't really respond to them going ahead.
Yeah, really disappointed because we spoke about before the game about set piece, how important they are. They've got good quality and they've got a big group, and he's just killed it. I think Dan's fouled. I thought the referee was weak. You know what I mean? And I think Dan's fouled, and probably 9 times out of 10 it's a foul. But he scores, doesn't he? And obviously then we wobbled a bit and give away a pen. And to Dan, he makes a great save, and then thought we were well in the game. And then obviously if you start second half like that, then you're up against it.
Did that really kill you off, that early goal in the second half? I guess when you've just been in at half time, everything that you've said sort of gone out the window.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And there's something we've got to learn. We've got a group of a lot of young players that have come in, and they've got to understand that this is not academy football, it's real football, and we've got to be at it. We've got to be at it all the time, and today we weren't at times, and we got punished.
Looking at some positives, so Jez coming off the bench was lively, and it was his sort of presence that helped create that goal.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and obviously Joe had a few chances, and Matty got himself a goal, and there's a few positives there. And that young Murph come off the bench and was aggressive with his defenders. So yeah, there's a few positives. We can't get too down. We got another 45 games to go, but obviously it's disappointing to start the season with defeat. And
I suppose that's in the cold light of day. Kings Lynn are full time. You're away from home. You'd argue maybe you wouldn't have this game as one down that you would have won anyway, but I suppose that doesn't take away from the disappointment of how you played.
I think if you're full time, you've got a massive advantage in this league, definitely. I think anyone who argues against that's wrong. I think you got 7 full time teams. It makes a big difference. They've planned for weeks and weeks for our game, and they started fifth. They look strong, and as I say, I think the manager's a really good manager. We've got a lot of time for him. I think they'll be right up there.
You've recruited a lot of young players as well over the summer, so is it going to take time to get them
bedded in?
It will
take time, and they'll make mistakes, and you've got to understand that it doesn't happen quite quickly. We're trying to bed them in around the lads who've been here for a few years, so it is difficult. So times there's going to be bumps in the road. Today obviously was a big bump, so we've got to be making sure that doesn't happen when we learn from it, and we're better next week.
Is that the key message? Sort of, you mentioned it earlier that it is a bad start, but there's 45 more chances to put this right. So
yeah, we've got to learn quick, Matt. We've got to learn quick. It's never nice to lose. You come all the way down here and get beat, and it's never nice to lose. But if you lose and you learn from it, then you can put up with that. But we've got to learn from it. We've got to be at it. We've got to be more aggressive in our playing. We've got to make the right decisions, and we've got to make sure that are we playing or are we not playing. If we're playing, then we move. If we don't, then we get up and get compact. And I think at times we got caught in between two a little bit today.
Is this week important for you? Obviously, you've no midweek game this week. You've got 2 training sessions, but after this week, obviously the midweek games, the bank holiday doubleheaders, they start to take over. So this week's really important for you, isn't it, to work on things?
Yeah, it is definitely. Yeah, we need to work on stuff Tuesday, Thursday, which we will, and prepare for Peterborough, which will be a tough game. As we all know, every game's a tough game in this league, so it's a really tough game next week at home. But it's important that we work this week on how we set up and how we play, and be better for it.